Hello, my name's Jordan from Kvant Lasers UK here in the United Kingdom, and today we're going to be showing you how to control FB4 Kvant lasers from a lighting desk, directly from an Avolites quartz in this instance, but in any instance you can use your own light desk, but we've been working with Avolites to develop this profile, and the assistance from Pangolin with the great content pack just here. So in this video you will learn how to directly control lasers from a lighting desk to the lasers FB4 with no software linking the two. Controlling professional lasers directly via a lighting desk with no software linking the two has often been portrayed as complicated and even avoided sometimes. We show you how to grab control of lasers directly via an Avolites quartz in a short series of steps and videos. With recent advances in control abilities, personality updates, and a great laser content pack version 1.0 from our friends at Pangolin, gaining control of a small to large number of FB4 laser systems via ArtNet or DMX is simple and won't take as long as you might think. All our FB4 lasers at Kvant can be controlled via a professional lighting console. This includes the Clubmax series, Burstbury and Spectrum. We have worked closely with Avolites here in the UK to develop an updated fixture personality that we know works both great for your laser users and Avolites users alike, with the help of Steve Warren and his team at Avolites, and taking in feature requests from both sides of the industry to ensure it can be achieved from a skilled user level to a newcomer to an Avolites desk. This ensures everyone feels at home and understands lasers can be made simple to use with native control. During this insight into Avolites laser lighting desk control, we go through step by step of how to get started, program, and ultimately produce a fantastic laser show for your next event from native console control. So let's get started. In our setup today, we've got a Clubmax 3000 with Saturn 1 scanner from Pangolin, and we've also got a Burstbury, and we've also got an FB4 external, just to show you up close how to get different areas of the FB4 working for DMX and ArtNet control. So this might sound strange, but the first steps are away from the lighting desk. We first need to make sure the FB4 are FB4s in the back of your Kvant lasers you are using have the DMX content pack and test patterns readily installed. If you're using a Kvant laser projector with a FB4 purchased in 2020 or later, it's likely that this content pack is already there, but you can still follow these simple steps to make sure that is there or not. So firstly, we're going to search pangolin.com/pages/DMX profiles, which we've got just here. Then we're going to download the FB4 content pack, Ultra Simples, Simples and Full, which is just here. So that one there, that one there, and that one there. Once downloaded, we locate either our Beyond or Quick Show folder in the local disk area of the computer. Just there. Got a latest version of Beyond, it's likely this will be here already. But if you don't and you're running an older version of Beyond, you can double click there and you copy your zip files into here. But I've said if you've got a new version of Beyond, it's likely this pack is already here, so you won't need to download it. But if you've got an old version and you stay on the old version, it's just there. But it's important that we keep these as zip files and don't unzip them, because if they're unzipped, they won't work with Beyond. So now, close this. Move on to Beyond. It's exactly the same process of Quick Show, and we'll show you Quick Show just after we show Beyond. So we've got our lasers set to auto IP at the moment, just so we know they're connected. So how we check that? Operation mode, Beyond Quick Show, network setup, auto IP. And once we're out of this mode, we're going to go back to our fixed IP, which will work with the ArtNet for the lighting desk control. So what we can see here, that all our lasers are connected. So we've got our Clubmax here, and we've got FB4 external, and we'll come on to the Burstbury a bit later on at the end of the video. So now go to File, FB4 Export, upload content pack. So now it's going to find these zip files in that folder, and we're going to choose how much content we want to put on. Each of these have different amounts of content, so if you look at Pangolin's great video online, in the link that's going to come up now, it will show you roughly a bit more in-depth version of how to upload it and how long each of these take. Obviously, the more projectors you have, the longer each file will take to upload. So it says here, approximate upload time about at least 1 hour, 2 minutes. So it's a good example. So we're going to click upload there. We're going to set the ones we want to upload to. and you see here it's all uploading. It's important we don't disconnect the setup or unplug the FB4 because the content won't be there, and if the content's not there, the light desk won't work. It's important while this is uploading that we don't unplug the setup, we don't turn off projectors, don't turn off the laptop. We have to make sure it's all the content is on the lasers, ready for the lighting desk to control. Once it's uploaded, it'll say no more operations left. So it's important to check that we have our test patterns on the lasers FB4 SD card. The best way to check this is to go to FB4 browser and then content, and you should have all these here. Test pattern, or test patterns. If we don't have these here, setting up the safety zone or the laser from the lighting desk will be very hard. So if you do not have these here, say if you've refreshed your SD card for some reason, we're going to show you how to upload test patterns. So it's a quick process. So we're going to go to File, similar to how we did before, test patterns standard. And here are test patterns, export, save the show file. Do not plan a correction because we want to manipulate the image using DMX, general content, and all the FB4s we want it to go onto. Export to connect to FB4, next, and show FB4 browser. It's all gone on there. For uploading your own custom content, follow similar steps. Create your own cues in QuickShow or beyond, and then you follow this step. FB4 export again, and then we're going to go to DMX FB4 workspace. Then we're going to see here, you can either assign a current workspace to that page, DMX value, or we can do single cues. So say I just wanted a triangle there, I can do that there, I can do that there, I can do that. It's super simple. Then you click export and go through the same process again. It tells you all the pages and the DMX value, which is going to be located at. Yeah, that's simple. For a more in-depth version, you can watch Pangolin's great video with Lyra, which goes through in-depth of how to upload and install the FB4 content pack and get started. So the next step, so we now choose if you want to control our lasers from the lighting desk via ArtNet or DMX. For DMX control, we set the FB4 to DMX mode, then to the correct starting channel on the 39 channel mode. This is FB4 mode. Once done, connect the 5-pin data cable from the lighting desk or the buffer to the laser's FB4. So operation mode, DMX 512. This will disconnect it from beyond, which is what we want. Then start address and profile FB4. It's important we have it on FB4. If it's on FB3, the software personality on the desk won't see it correctly. We'll start doing weird stuff. So I'm going to just go through that again, but on the laptop. With DMX control, we set the FB4 to DMX mode, then to the correct starting channel and 39 channel mode. Once done, connect the 5-pin data cable from the lighting desk or buffer to the laser on the laser's FB4. So you can go to FB4 settings if you prefer to do it from the laptop. You can see that, say if you've got multiple projectors, say you've got 40 projectors, it's probably a lot more simple to have more connected and just select them for cursor in DMX mode. See all FB4 settings which you have on the back of the FB4, you can all see here. And we're going to, wherever it's gone, DMX, there we go. So we're going to choose channel, so we're going to start channel 1 and make sure it's on new FB4 profile 39 channel mode. If you're using Burstbury, we'll come to that later because that's got a few more channels. We can discuss that later, how to get that working. For ArtNet lighting control, we set the FB4 on the laser to ArtNet mode and connect the network Ethernet cable from the desk or network switch and into the laser's FB4. You then set the ArtNet universe to correspond to the laser and console. For this situation, we're going to set the laser to be in the same IP range in network settings on the FB4 and the console to broadcast ArtNet DMX to DMX line 1 on the Avolites quartz. This will pick up each laser's FB4 as an individual node, make sure the IP address on the console and lasers are in the same IP range, and static. Keeping it static means that after a console and laser power cycle, the IP addresses do not change and work each time the laser setup is used. So, operation mode, ArtNet settings, so we set our universe for ArtNet, a start address, and make sure it's on profile, FB4. You need to have a bit of inkling about networking here, but if you don't, we can show you through. So make sure it's on ArtNet here, and to take it out of auto IP, we're going to set a fixed IP. So for here, we go 10.0.10, we know that one to be 1. 10.0.10, we want that one to be 2. That fixture there to be 1. And set fixed IP. So they're now on fixed IPs, as you can see there. So now we're done with this part. There's no issue. If you need to change any settings or upload new content, you can always plug it back in. And as long as you are on the same IP range, you can connect to Beyond QuickShow quite easily by just going to FB4 settings and just do your changes and then change it back. So it's super simple. So this video is to show you like it's the same process for QuickShow. So I'm just going to change, go back to Beyond QuickShow mode, FB4's back in there. So we're going to close Beyond. So we're happy, open QuickShow. I agree. It's going to pick up the lasers FB4 as a dongle. So there's our FB4s, and that's just FB3 of the Beyond software on it. So it's exactly the same process, in the same place, FB4 export, the content pack. Exactly the same process, just a different theme, but everything else is in exactly the same place, even FB4 settings. So if you don't have Beyond software, QuickShow, which do exactly the same, you can access stuff exactly the same place as you would in Beyond in the last tutorial process. The next step is patching your FB4 laser to the Avolites Quartz and setup process. First, you need to make sure the Titan software on the desk is running the latest personality build. You can download the latest personality from Avolites here on this link, just there. And we want to make sure we've got whatever version you've got, and we download it, make sure it's on there. If you can't download it for whatever reason, go to this website and you can download FB4 SK. It's got the latest personality just there. So the next process, we're going to move on to the desk. So we don't need the software anymore. Obviously it's good to save whatever progress you've got on it. And then we're going to close software. Close lid, because now we don't need laptops anymore, only for changes to content. So that's direct console to lasers, FB4 with Kvant and Pangolin control. So there's no laptop or software needed for this process. For ArtNet lighting control, we set the FB4 on the laser to ArtNet mode, then connect the network Ethernet cable from the desk or network switch, then into the laser. You can then set ArtNet universe to correspond with the laser and console. For this situation, we're going to set the laser to be in the same IP range and network settings on the FB4, and the console to broadcast ArtNet DMX to DMX line 1. This will pick up each laser's FB4 as an individual node, but it's important to make sure the IP addresses on the console and lasers are on the same IP range and static. Keeping it static means that after a console and laser power cycle, the IP addresses do not change and work each time the laser setup is used. So we're just going to show here. Operation mode, we're going to be in ArtNet. ArtNet settings, universe start address 1, profile for FB4. In our network setup, we've gone for 10.0.10.2. And subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So we go onto the desk. So on desk, you've got Avo key, setup, network settings, local area connection. We're going to change our IP to 10.0.10.3 because 1 is already a laser. We're going to save settings. Go to DMX settings, and there is our one of them. So for DMX control, it's very simple. Set the FB4 to DMX mode. Then to the correct start channel and address. DMX settings, start address, and Pangolin FB4. Connect the 5-pin cable to your laser, and it's simple on the desk, but for this instance, we're going to show you ArtNet. I'm going to focus on ArtNet here, especially for Burstbury, because Burstbury is a 43 channel fixture, so it is ArtNet in only instead of DMX mode. Back to ArtNet. ArtNet settings, and just make sure that now it's set up, we're in the right IP range, which we are. So now we're going to move on to the desk. Now we're happy there, all in the right mode. All the FB4 Kvant Lasers on the right mode. Check that we are all receiving it as a node and on the Avolites quartz. So we're going to Avo key, setup, network settings, make sure our IP for the desk is in the right range. So we've gone for 10.0.10.3. One laser that we've got is 10.0.10.1, and the other laser we've got is 10.0.10.2. So all in the same IP range. So save settings, so we're happy with that. So Avo key and setup again, DMX settings. So here we are. You can see just here we've got a Pangolin FB4, and they're on the right thing. So we're going to broadcast. Get rid of those. Don't need those for this instance. I'm going to broadcast to line 1. So that basically means out of line 1 is ArtNet universe 0. So we're happy there, so exit out of there. The next process is patching the playback and setup part of each laser. If separate addresses, if you have the lasers all on the same address, you'll only need to do one playback and one setup process. So the keystrokes are, you go patch, fixtures, I'm going to search for Kvant. So if you've got a Burstbury, select Burstbury, it's got the extra 4 channels for the blinder and diffraction. But if you've got a normal FB4 Kvant laser, just get FB4-SK. To do 39 channel mode, but if we go for that one, we have to keep the playback and setup together, which in this instance we don't want to do, because if you make a mistake in the setup, it's going to affect the playback. Make a mistake in the playback, it's going to affect the setup. So for this instance, we're going to do the setup separate to playback. So once we've done the setup, we keep that as a different group, so we're not affecting that when we're doing the playback part of getting control of the lasers. So we're going to patch setup first, then we're going to go for patch, exit, we're going to do playback, we're going to patch. So we're all happy there, that both of the things there, and we're going to exit out of there. We're going to set a legend for that. I'm going to call that one setup. And that one we're going to call playback. If you've got, say, 10 plus fixtures of these, you can do groups. You can do groups with less of those, just so all your playbacks and your setups all together. So your playbacks you could have up here, so you're easy to control. Setups you can hide away once you're done with them. So they could be right at the bottom, out of the way. So now I've set our legend. I'm just going to make sure that's patched in the right areas that we want it to be. So click patch, and then we're going to patch view. You can see here our setup's gone first for address.1.1, and the playback is 1.14. It's important that setup's first and the playback second on every single way you patch it. And if it's the other way around, for example, the profile and personality just won't work, and you just won't get any laser output, which is not what we want. So it's important. Setup's always first, then playback. You can also patch the 39 channel combined playback and setup personality if you feel more comfortable with it, but we recommend keeping the setup and playback parts separate so program mistakes cannot happen. Now we make sure the starting address and universes are correct as per your patch sheet. The lasers match up with the control desk. Once checked, we can begin the safety zone and modes setup. So now we're going to record our modes onto macro buttons or execute buttons. This is just an easy way to record the buttons when you need them quickly and to get to different parts of setting up or playback of the laser or even blackout. So first, select the setup fixture. So we're going to setup, attribute editor, min-max. We go to mode. So you can see here we've got our blackout, setup and playback. So we're going to put our setup further away from the other two so we don't click it by mistake. This won't be needed as much in the live show. Select each mode, record, then onto chosen record button. This makes it easy to see at any one time which mode you are currently working in, as only one handle light should be on. Do not record these mode onto faders, as it has a potential to cause issues if the fader is set to fade through values. So I'm going to go playback, record onto the handle there, blackout, record onto the handle there, and setup, record onto the furthest away handle, so we need to. So now you can see here, the bottom corner, go playback, blackout, and setup. So only at one point should any light be selected. So it's super simple to get between different modes, very simple. So now we have this set up, let's discuss laser safety. Before outputting laser emission, make sure where you're pointing the laser out to is safe to do so, free of audience and public spectators, and it's not going to cause a harm to anyone. We recommend going on a laser safety course by LVR Optical if you're wanting more training in the safe use of lasers in a show environment. Once you're happy to start emitting laser light, we're going to go to setup, setup thing, and make sure we're in setup just here. I'm going to attribute editor, in max intensity, can make sure our max intensity is at 20%, just while we're setting up. I'm going to go ahead and select test frame, just there. So that's going to be all over the place at the moment. So we're going to go to a max width, max height, max horizontal, max vertical, and max angle. This is essentially your safety zone. So no laser output will go outside of this safety zone. And this is saved to the FB4 as well on the back of the laser. So even if you lose the content here and you don't freeze it for whatever reason, but you don't change it, it will still say the same on the FB4. So you're in good hands there, that nothing will change this unless you change it yourself. So max width obviously does max width, max height obviously does max height. In future versions of Titan, this will be in a box where you can drag and manipulate image a bit like blade style on a moving light, which would be super easy, but for the moment it's just like this. And we've got our max position, X. If you click beam again, go to the other menu, max height, then rotate. So say if we're projecting a weird thing, we can rotate the image. So say we wanted to have it like that, or have it at an angle like that. We can rotate the image. For this instance, we can just have it like that. So rotate. So we're happy we want it there. Our size a bit bigger, a bit taller. And position just a bit more over. So happy with that. So now we're happy that we want it there. We don't want to move it. We're going to freeze this image. So no locate value or nothing can change this until you unfreeze it. We hold the blue key by the encoder and select freeze on the right hand side menu. We do this with all 5 encoder parameters. You can click beam to move across the different parameter pages in the small menu. Move max intensity back up to 100% and ensure it is safe to do so and does not cause reflections or hazards. You can then freeze this value at a certain percentage if you want it to be like a dimmer or less output. Please save this show file at this point. Once frozen, these attributes stay frozen until you change them, even after a DES reboot. They also stay locked into the laser's FB4 settings. So in blue key, freeze, blue key, freeze, blue key, freeze, beam again, blue key, freeze, and blue key, freeze. And then, as said, max intensity. So if we wanted it to stay at 20 for whatever reason, we can freeze that. But for this instance, we're going to have it at 100 because we're now in a safe environment and we're on a terminated projection screen. Freeze our max intensity. Then take out a test pattern because we're done with that now. We can go back to playback. So now we've got full control of our Kvant laser. We're running FB4. We're going to experience the full power of the personality and the shape generator with Avolites. So first we're going to make sure intensity. Let's output a simple line like that. So you're happy with that? So you want to change the colour. So say you want to do a nice deep blue or say a red. For this instance, we're going to go for a deep blue. So here is our basically a little inbuilt shape generator into the laser itself. So you can change quite a lot of stuff here. So zoom, size, so we want to make it bigger, and angle and spin. So it's quite a handy thing. So we can do very quirky and very different effects each time we ever play with the laser. So we go very, very small to very, very big. And then say we've got this setup running, we can even go to different content and say circle and dose mode, but something like that. And just keep continually changing the content. So the great thing about this, you can create unique things each time you ever play, and the limits are endless really. So here's just an example of the possibilities. So let's go to content. You can also click this button here, this little thing will make your content pack bigger, and just to get back to change pages, you can do that. You can do that with a lot of stuff. So say we select just four little balls like that. And I'll zoom. Say we want to make them a bit bigger. That's speed. Make them a bit bigger. I want to take the rotate off. Angle reset. So happy with that. So back to zoom. So we can go from a really tight point. So say we're happy with that, but we want to spin that, for example. It's quite easily, so spin, change the speed. This is all without shape generator being used at the moment, which is a really cool feature. So think about this with haze, it look really cool. Let's slow that down. So if we want to take some points away, for whatever reason, so we've only got one there, or we have just a 1. Or say we want the other way around, so we want that ball on the other end, and take some points away. So now we're going to discuss the shape generator and its endless possibilities. Avolites is a leading light desk and software brand that is industry known around the world. The shape generator, including Titan, matched with Kvant Lasers with an FB4, helps you take already animation perfect images and adds a whole new dimension to them. Here we discuss over each attribute, what shape generator can do for you and more. So firstly, we can go to shape generator, shape and effects just here, with playback selected, shape generator, and create. So dimmer, spread, pulse and strobe. Think about 6 lasers in a row, perfectly syncing a smooth dimmer chase or upbeat ray across themselves. So obviously we've only got one laser projecting here, but say dimmer spread, it's going to do that. Pan and tilt. Normally this would correspond to a moving light and its position of its X and Y axes. Well, we took this and merged it into a concept for lasers. Let's take a laser circle, for example. Once we add a circle shape generator, that animation now is going to spin around your projection area in a circle-like formation. The possibilities for this are endless with basic shapes. So go to playback, attribute editor min-max, make sure playback's at full, content pack, simples, Q index, circle, so we've got a circle. Shape and effects, shape generator, create, pan tilt. So we've got all our effects here, but with this we do a circle. So now we can see it spinning around. We can change the speed of that spin, make it go faster, make it go slower. We can change the size. Obviously if it goes outside the projection safety zone, it's not going to work properly, but keep that size in. If you've got more units, the better the effect is. So say we go to zoom, make that really small into a tight beam. and then edit our shape again. So size, we can make that really, really wide. So it's going to go to the edge of the box there, which is not what we want. It's really cool effect. And of course we can do this with other shapes as well. So say a line, triangle, pretty much anything we have in our cues we can change. But let's go back to shape editor and create one. Do a color chase. As long as it's in alpha, it's on RGB. And then if we go to beam, do zoom. So it's going to go really fast then, but we can slow it down. So you can either use the inbuilt personality zoom, or you can make shape generator do really cool, quirky things. So you can even change it live if you wanted to. So different effects like that. So that's going to keep it in the thing. Let's change it to a sheet. So the control and design possibilities are under. So each cue you can keep adapting and changing and add overlay effects, overlay shape generators, and you can create a really cool show directly from the console, that is, with no laser software needed for the operation. Only for uploading content you use laser software. Two important notes here. The laser will flicker during setup as the scan rate and playback is set to locate at 15K. That's 15K at the 255 DMX value, as each laser is different to what scanner speed they are doing. This is for safety while the safety zone is being set up in the programming. When we go to playback, we can run up to the 30K on the 255 value on the encoder as it is in a safe area. So just show you that here. So playback, that should be edited to min-max. Scan rate right at the bottom, 15K. We can scroll that up. And then if we're happy with that, we can freeze. But it all depends on the projector. A lot of the content pack has been made by Lyra and all the Pangolin team to work with most projectors. But obviously with Kvant projectors with the 506 scanners and the Saturn ones, etc., will work perfect as they are a really good projector. Being different from a normal moving head fixture or LED fixture, locate will not output laser light. This is for safety, so you do not actually put them on by mistake. It will reset other necessary attributes back to locate values, unless you've frozen them, which it won't change, which is what we want. For burst-free ArtNet laser fixtures, we'll locate the LED blinder module built in, just so you know where the blinder is. So, what do your FB4 indicators on your Kvant laser mean? Well, you have a solid data connection when the third light on your FB4 will blink orange. It's just 1, 2, 3, blink orange, so you've got a solid data connection. During the setup, the red light on the FB4, the fourth light will blink. So I can show you that here. Setup. So it's blinking there, as you can see there. During playback mode, the red light will shine continuously. So we can go to playback mode. There we can see, during playback mode, we've got continuous output. Now you have control of your Kvant laser system either through ArtNet or DMX, and the creative potential through your programming and the content pack is next level. Here are our last pointers to help you out during your programming session. When the FB4 is in setup mode, there will be a 2-second delay between toggling between playback and setup. If a BPM-based effects are exported at 100 BPM for your own cues and you want to have a cue running at 128 BPM, change the DMX speed to 128 DMX value on the 255 scale. Lowering the scan rate can impact the cue speed of the laser. FB4 indicators in your laser, we've covered this before, but I'll go through it again. When you have a solid data connection, the third light on your FB4 will blink orange. During setup, the red light on the FB4, the fourth light in, will blink. During playback mode, the red light will shine continuously. And my last tip is use a shape generator on Titan with all its programming power. We love it, and it gives you, the user, more effects that can be unique every single time you use the lighting desk with lasers. I hope this video gives you a good insight of how to get your lasers running direct from a console to your Kvant laser, right to its FB4 with the great content pack from Pangolin. We have a laser studio set up in our UK base in Daventry in Northamptonshire, where you can try out using laser control from an Avolites desk with our latest lasers. We currently have the Burstbury and Clubmax series installed and ready for your creative vision. So if you want to come down, come have a demo. We can show you exactly how it works. If you've got an idea you want to explore, we can explore that with you. We're more than happy to help out. If it's an installation, tour, or one-night show, we're sure that Kvant Lasers running Pangolin FB4 backed with Avolites Titan lighting control will help you lead the way. Let us show you the latest innovation. Message info@kvantlasers.co.uk or any of our social pages and we'd be sure to help out. None of this control possibility would be possible without Avolites support and the Pangolin team, and with Lyra and her content pack. And thank you for Steve at Avolites for all the support they've given us, all his team who have helped us develop the profile with all the thumbnails, all the different changes we've done and made it really good, and the Pangolin team for all the work they continue to keep doing beyond and all the great software.